Have you ever looked at the Erin Condren life planners and wonder, why are there such die-hard fans for this planner? How do you use it? How is it going to help me manage my week? I'm going to show you how I use it to help keep me on task. So even if you don't have an Erin Condren planner, maybe this will give you ideas for how to use your planner. But this is my favorite, and I'm going to show it to you. My name is Rachel, and I am a homeschooling mom to 3, ages 7 to 14. And on this channel, I share my plans for my home and my plans for my homeschool. And sometimes they work out with God's plans and sometimes they don't. But this I know, His plans win every time. But how fitting that I am going to talk about plans today and how I actually keep track of my plans. So comment below if you can relate to this. So before I started homeschooling, I worked in the corporate world. I sat in front of the computer all the time, and that's what I used to manage my calendar. So I never missed appointments. In fact, that's kind of how I managed my day. I would write my task lists on the computer. Well, when I became a homeschool mom, I wasn't sitting in front of the computer every day, nor did I want to. I really did not want to manage my schedule digitally. I realized I was a paper girl, but I wasn't used to it. I didn't know I was a paper girl yet until I started missing appointments. I remember missing my first hairstylist appointment, and I have a really awesome hairstylist. She's not the kind of hairstylist that you can get into by calling a couple of weeks ahead. I have to schedule her months out. So when I missed that appointment, I was mortified, I was embarrassed, and not only that, I didn't get my hair done. So I realized I'm not sitting in front of a computer anymore. How am I going to keep track of this? I did have it in my phone, but it just wasn't working for me. I was a paper girl in the making. So I started researching planners. I started researching on YouTube, actually. It's funny because that's actually how I found the very popular Grace and Grit homeschool channel, was because she was reviewing her Erin Condren planner. Isn't that funny? It wasn't even homeschool at all. And I was like, hey, a homeschool mom. So anyway, I was researching the Erin Condren planners and thought, I'm going to give this a try, but I had never used a paper planner before. So I was like, how do you use a life planner? Like, what's a life planner? Besides writing down your appointments, what else can you use this for? So I'm going to let you look inside my 2021 planner, and I'm going to show you how I use it and why I love this planner. And if you like it and you want to try it, I'm going to drop a 10% referral code down in the description box. So if you use it, you'll get 10% off of your first order. This is not this year's cover. This is last year's cover, and I'm not sure if it's still available. But this is one thing that is kind of cool about the Erin Condren planner. So I actually ordered this cover this year. I wasn't really thrilled with any of the covers, and so this one I was just like, okay, you know, it's not like I really care that much about the cover anyway, so I went ahead and ordered it. And then it came with this little flaw, and I thought, that is gonna drive me nuts. And I wish that I hadn't ordered black and white. I wish I would have ordered like red and black or something. And then I ordered the boring inside. I ordered the black and white inside for a change, and I actually wish that I would have went with the color. So I thought, I ordered a really boring planner this year. So I decided I really liked last year's cover. They are removable. See how cool that is? So I just put my last year's cover on my planner, and you can stick those back on. I guess I'll do that later. So this is probably one of my all-time favorite covers. Here are some others that I've gotten through the years. This is the first one I got. I really love that one still. This one was supposed to be like a rose gold. It came out more coppery, so this one isn't my favorite. I think this one might still be available, but you can kind of see. It's more coppery than rose gold. This one came in a fall surprise box that I got. I have others because I have an address book too, and the address book is about the same size and also has a removable cover. I ordered this inside this year. See, it wasn't totally black and white, but I've got last year's here because I want to show you how I used it also. But last year's, you can see how colorful it is and so pretty. This year's I just was trying something different. As soon as I ordered it, I regretted it. So, first of all, this paper is nice and thick. I also ordered this black and white because I thought this script font was really pretty, and the colored one I think isn't really scripty. It's more plain Jane. They've got their little inspirational quotes. They're not a Christian company, so you know they're not going to have Bible verses or anything. But this is pretty much how every week is laid out. The colored ones are going to have a little more fancy colors here. So here's how I use this. Let me see if I can find a week. Okay, so I'm just going to show you. This is for April. I've got some videos planned out here. These are the ones that I needed to record that I'm working on right now. These are some other video ideas. So I've kind of got these just mapped out here. When I decide what I have scheduled, what appointments I do, I make them in the month. And then when I get to that month, the very beginning of the month, then I will go and mark them in my weekly plan. I haven't obviously done that yet for April. So I'll look at my April month and then I'll go and I'll put all my stuff out. And then if I have a big project going on or I need to work on it for April, for example, I will write some of those details here. So like when I'm planning for homeschool curriculum, I'll do kind of my rough plan here in the month that I want to get that done. Any sort of task list that doesn't necessarily need to be done on a certain date or a certain week, but maybe I want to get it done in that month, I might do it here, or if I'm vacation planning or I need to follow up with something, I might put it here. And then when I'm planning out my whole month, I will dump weekly task lists here. So not by day, but say by the end of the week, I need to have this list of things done. That's what I put in this side margin. Now, Erin Condren has several different setups here because she does have an hourly setup here. I choose this 3 chunk, and here's how I use it. All right, I'm just putting my pen there to cover. Gotta maintain a little privacy here. These are like the things that I wanted to get done for the week. I didn't check off any boxes, although I know that I got several of those things done. So I put any appointments up here. Anything that I want to keep track of that has to do with school, I put here in the center. And anything that has to do with work, so this is like YouTube stuff, work or just like a general task list, household task list, I will put here. Sometimes I will mark it down here, but I also will sometimes do meal planning down here. So this is kind of my flex area, what I do for YouTube and for my family and like chores and stuff I put down here. So appointments, school, work, and like household work. That's what I do there. Okay, and then at the end of the book, there is this notes tab. And this is where there's going to be several blank pages here, and this is where I will do brain dumps of stuff. So, for example, I started my high school planning checklist here, and things that I need to do, that I need to plan for, that I need to create a system for, my Illinois graduation requirements. And then because it's in my planner, I'm never going to lose it. It's not going to be on a floating piece of paper floating around. So last year, one of the things that I dumped, some YouTube goals and some YouTube rewards. My kids were dreaming, oh, if you get 10,000 subscribers, you know, we'll do this. We'll go on a weekend getaway or something like that. So I decided to start my YouTube channel in August. So I had a little YouTube to-do list. And then on the next page, I'm not going to show you, but I have literally 100 video ideas because all of those YouTube help channels will say, if you're going to start a YouTube channel, you need to have more than one idea for videos. And so I started doing a brain dump, and before I knew it, I had 100 ideas. Okay, and then I have like my master chore list, my master house project list, and I did it by room. So for the kitchen last year, I wanted to declutter my pantry and my dishes, all the little things where maybe it would be overwhelming if I did the whole kitchen at once. But if I say, okay, today I'm just going to do the pantry, or today I'm just going to do the fridge or the back entry, Now that I'm through this year, I need to go through and check off what I actually did, because since we were quarantined, pretty sure I decluttered most of this stuff. But I did it by room, and it was cool to have this kind of running project list back here. And then they have some coloring pages. They have a little contact area, so if you want to you don't keep it digitally in your phone, you can put them there. I've put here like phone numbers that I might want to remember, but I don't necessarily need them in my phone. And then they've got the next year's calendar, which is really handy if you don't have your planner yet. Like say I get my hair done in November and it's not scheduled again until January or February, then I will come here and I will write it here until I get my next year's planner. Every single planner comes with a bunch of stickers. I'm not a sticker girl. I want to be a sticker girl. Like I've bought Erin Condren sticker books because they're super fun with the metallics, and I've put some of them in there. I just feel like at this point in my life, I don't have a lot of time to just decorate a planner, but I think these are so cute and so fun, and if I had a good strategy to do it, I would totally do it. So every year, I'm like, I'm gonna decorate this year. But I end up just ripping these out and saving them. So I have a huge stack of these stickers. See, they've even got birthday stickers. Oh, I should use these, you guys. I mean, those are so cute. Cupcake and happy birthday. This is new because I don't think I've ever seen cupcakes and cakes before. These would be for like recurring appointments, little tabs or something. And then there's always this folder. And then they always give you a perpetual calendar. I have used this before to write down, like we have a fairly small church. We have less than 100 people. And so I have everybody's birthday written down in my perpetual calendar. So I have it. One of these days, I'm going to send cards. I have an aunt who is so sweet to send cards to everybody on their birthday. And I'm like, I really want to do that. Someday I will. And then they come with these little packages. These are just like little cool like bookmarks that you can give away, a little postcard. I haven't done anything with this yet. This is like a wet erase board. If you have wet erase markers, you could write on this. And then every planner comes with one of these. If you want to use it as a bookmark, or you want to just keep it as a straight line, if you do like want to draw a straight line or something, every planner comes with this. So why do I love this planner? This coil is super strong. There's no way, if you toss this in your bag, there is no way that it's going to bend or break or get deformed. It is here for the long haul. And then like I mentioned, this page is super thick. I've used flare pens on it. I've used like the skinny Sharpie markers on it, and it does not bleed through. One downside to Erin Condren, many people will say it's very expensive. I agree, it's an expensive planner, but I have used cheaper planners and they don't last the whole year. I also like how compact this size is, because I don't want a planner that's like my notebook size. I don't want an 8.5 by 11 size planner. I want something that if I want to toss it in my laptop bag or my purse, it's small enough to fit. I also want a planner, quite honestly, I leave it out on my kitchen counter open to the week that we're on. If it's week August 2nd, this is usually on my counter. It has all the things for the week, so my husband can come and reference what's being done. And as, like I said, my task list, as things come to mind, my planner's already open and I can just write it right down. Or if I'm not gonna get to it this week, I can just go ahead, turn the page and write it in my next week. So if I had a humongous planner, that would obviously take up more counter space. Right now this is in my kitchen. I may move it to my homeschool room, but the point is it's not very large, even when it's opened. Okay, so people will say the price is the downside, but I usually buy mine on Black Friday when they're a little bit more discounted. I just get all the cheapest options. I don't really do a whole lot of upgrades, and I'm not usually swayed by the free shipping. I just get what I need and I'm done with it, and I just like the quality. The downside to Erin Condren, I will say, is their quality control. I have had a few mistakes sent to me that they've had to rectify, and I'm just always surprised at the frequency in which it occurs. The only thing that keeps me going back is the quality, because anybody that loves Erin Condren will say the actual quality of the product is fantastic. It's just making sure that the product comes correct is where they struggle. For example, this little flaw right here. I did not want to call that in. I just decided, you know what? I don't even care. I'm just going to switch this thing out. But in the past, I've called it. One time I ordered an address book and a life planner, and they sent me the address book only. It's just little stuff like that. Erin Condren, you got to get better at your quality control, because if somebody else comes along with a better planner, I'm going to go for it. Leave me a link below if you have a planner that you think can compete with Erin Condren. I just want a good quality planner that's going to last the whole year, and that's also going to be beautiful and fun and functional to write in. If this video is helpful, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.